Biker Dad is brought to you by UpstateBikerLawyer.com and Tom Schimmerling, founding member of the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Have you ever sat at your job and thought, what if I just got up and left? Tell that horrible boss to take this job and shove it. Have you ever wanted to just walk out? What about burnout? Well, that's exactly what I did, but I didn't just quit. I left my 25-year corporate career to ride motorcycles and tell your story.
Daytona Beach, Florida, where you can actually drive onto the beach. Rick Fairless, a legend of his own, introduced me to Richard Rollins, Mayfield, Kentucky. Southeast Missouri, beautiful city of Knoxville, Tennessee. Gulf Coast of Mississippi, the Florida coast and the Tampa Bay area, Orange County Choppers, Roadhouse and Museum, talking to Paul Tuttle Sr. himself.
But make no mistake, this is not a show about motorcycles or even about me. Instead, I travel across the country to meet the people who use their passion for motorcycles to make their communities stronger, safer, and better. This is Biker Dad.
Hi, my name is Chris Best. I left my 25-year corporate career, ride motorcycles and tell stories, and this week that adventure brings me here to Rochester, New York with a couple thousand new friends. I'm here with UpstateBikerLawyer.com, Tom Schimmerling, and we are here for the 24th annual Let's Roll 9/11 ride, and as you can see, they're rolling out in force. So that's where we started this episode of the Biker Dad TV show, so I've already said it twice, but let's roll. 9/11 hits home to all of us, but here in New York, it is obviously a little bit closer to home, even a few hours away from the city. Everybody here knows somebody who was directly impacted by 9/11. So as you can see, there's a huge show of support in Rochester for the annual Operation Patriot Guard Let's Roll 9/11 ride. And we got to talk to the people behind the ride, and apparently they have a lack of good judgment because they asked me to lead the ride, and I get lost at home, and I'm 1,500 miles from home now, so we'll see how that turns out.
Are you ready? Let's roll!
Hi, I'm Neil Flood. I'm the ride coordinator from the law enforcement side for Operation Patriot. So we're having a ride. Every year we do this ride in honor of 9/11. And we donate money to either military organizations, firefighting organizations, or law enforcement support organizations. This year, it's a law enforcement support organization. The ride's about 58 miles, lasts about an hour and a half. It's an escorted ride by law enforcement. It's been a great event for 23 years. We've raised quite a bit of money. You know, unfortunately, this year we had to move it a day because of weather, but in the past, we've gotten 700 or 800 motorcycles for this ride. So it's been pretty successful.
Hi, I'm Danielle Russell. I'm the registration manager at Operation Patriot. Well, we're having our annual fundraiser event. We have the Let's Roll motorcycle run, followed by our concert. Well, I started getting involved, obviously, because my father is the founder of the organization. And as I got older, I wanted to be part of such a wonderful thing. We raise money for so many things around the area, and 100% of the proceeds goes towards whatever our charity of choice is for that year.
Check it out, I see motorcycles behind me. We are in Rochester, New York at the Let's Roll 9/11 tribute ride. And, as you can see, we've had a threat of some bad weather all weekend, but that's not keeping all these people from rolling out. That crowd over there is just the beginning of it. They're still rolling in big time, like just a giant traffic jam of motorcycles, and we're gonna be rolling here in a little while. One of the interesting things is they asked me to be the honorary ride captain, and I said, I'd be honored to do it as long as I don't have to find our way. Even at home, I get lost all the time. I don't want to lead 1,000 bikers down the wrong path, but I'm happy to be right up there close to the front. It's going to be an awesome time, and just check this out. Thousands of people here in upstate New York getting ready to ride, so let's roll.
Operation Patriot started right after 9/11. And the first ride was shortly thereafter, the next September. So every year we did miss a few years, but every year now we try and do it as close to 9/11 as we can get on a Saturday. And the organization also supports, we've done memorial services for a couple of law enforcement officers that were killed in the line of duty in the last 15 years, and events like that. But this is our big event, is this fundraising. Well, as far as we know, I mean, nobody's counting, but I can tell you in the past, when the front end of the ride is about 3 to 4 miles away, the last bikes are just leaving this parking lot. So we've counted up to 700 or 800, and you can see even on a Sunday, on a football Sunday, the bikes are still coming in. So it's pretty big ride. Yeah, we think it's the biggest one in New York State, maybe the Northeast, but we don't count exact the number of bikes, so we just like to say that.
When I was young, both of my parents had bikes too, so I've been around bikes my whole life. So it was pretty easy for me. I used to ride on the ride with my father in the beginning for the first few years, which was pretty awesome. I think that's probably also what helped me want to be involved in it, just to see it from a different perspective. Well, when my dad first started this, it was really in response to the 9/11 attacks, and he just was really passionate about feeling like we needed to do something for the community in response to such a tragic event. So it really just grew from there. It started off as just kind of a one-time thing, and it just grew, and he's grown to be so passionate about it. It's gotten bigger and bigger. We've done other events throughout the years as well. We've also had events at other locations. We've been in Buffalo, and we've been in New York City also. So we've just done different things based on every year whatever we could do. We've also done other events in response to like when Daryl Pearson was shot in the line of duty. Several other things too.
I'm a retired law enforcement guy, yeah. The law enforcement's been very, very supportive of this event, and we couldn't do it without them. You know, you can't move that many motorcycles that far without support. The biker community's been a big supporter of first responders anyhow. Generally, they're usually pretty pro police, fire, and EMS folk, and it's great. They're great. They're an awesome group. They show up, as you can see, every year. Well, I was on the job when it happened, so, and I have a niece who lives in New York City who actually was going to school and saw a lot of it from New York City and stuff, and knew people that were in the tower. So I have a little bit of a personal connection to it. But yeah, I was on the job when it happened, so I could feel for what happened to our country then.
I think it's absolutely wonderful to see how many people are turning out and just really rallying for the cause. A lot of people also, even though they couldn't make it, they just donated their tickets, that they pre-registered for, just to donate the money towards the cause. It's very heartwarming to see what people can do when you put them together for something they believe in.
And I appreciate you coming up all the way from down there to support us, because it's great, because 2 years will be the 25th anniversary ride, and we'd really like to have a really big turnout for that one. I know Tom, he's been a big supporter of this event too, right from the beginning. And I don't think it's a business support, I think it's personal. He believes in it, which is different from, hey, I'm here trying to, drum up business. I mean, great if he gets business out of it, but that's not his motivation.
Wow, check this out. They have a massive American flag right here for us to ride under as we take off on the Operation Patriot Foundation 9/11 Let's Roll ride. It just is inspiring to be here in upstate New York, so close to the 9/11 anniversary, and to see everybody coming together like we did back in the day.
Here to let you know that myself and the hundreds of thousands of people who follow us on social media and watch the TV show are here to help. Do you need help with something? Give me a call. That's my number right there, 251-402-6392. Especially if you need legal help, I have an army of lawyers across the country who can help you with injuries after motorcycle crashes especially, but other stuff like crime and everything else too. So give me a call, 251-402-6392. Biker Dad is brought to you by UpstateBikerLawyer.com and Tom Schimmerling, founding member of the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Hey, it's Chris Best, the Biker Dad, and we're back here in upstate New York at Southern Tier with my friend Tom Schimmerling, UpstateBikerLawyer.com. How are you doing today?
Doing great, beautiful day.
One of the things I want to talk about is the big 9/11 ride in Rochester.
Yes.
And thanks to you, the Biker Dad TV show airs all over upstate New York.
In Rochester at the Ontario Park. And it's the oldest 9/11 ride. In fact, they started it right after 9/11.
Yeah, just a few days after, right?
Yeah, it's the first one. And it's big. It's big. It's like bigger every year. Last year it was down a little bit because of the rain, but still hundreds and hundreds of bikes.
Awesome.
And we might have 1,000 bikes.
So this started literally like a couple days after 9/11. Some guys in Rochester saw what happened. I just talked to the guy who started all of it.
Yes.
He was in TV news at the time, and just a couple days later, they had almost 1,000 bikes show up.
Right.
And 23 years later, still going strong. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
In New York, Biker Dad is brought to you by Upstate Biker Lawyer and Tom Shimmerly.
To New Orleans, Louisiana, let the good times roll. We're building a bike with the Red Clay Strays, one of my favorite bands, platinum selling boys from Mobile, Alabama, and we're doing it all for a good cause. On the road here in New Orleans, Louisiana, yeah, the Big Easy, and that's the big, muddy, mighty Mississippi right there behind me. And we are here to rock and roll. You can probably tell my voice is a little gone right now. That's because last night I spent it screaming and yelling at the Red Clay Strays concert here in New Orleans. Who are the Red Clay Strays? In case you don't know, they're kind of a southern country rock band from Mobile, Alabama. They just had their first platinum selling record. But we met up here in New Orleans with the Red Clay Strays to get an update on our charity bike build that we're doing with them and take a few cool pictures too. And it's gonna take a couple days for my voice to recover, that's for sure, and that's how good that band is. Here's what happened when I showed them the bike.
Using a rat rod, clean it up, whack all the chrome out, or bring the chrome out more.
I leave the chrome.
Okay, you like chrome shiny.
What's your vision? I think cleaning up the chrome.
Really? Everything. I mean, I see things too.
I like bobbers.
Or over there on the gear shift liquids, or the Red Clay Strays on the chrome, or on the gear shift liquids.
We also talked about like pinstriping this to make it look like the Dolly Parton Bridge.
That'd be cool.
Because it kind of has that arc to it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But we got
You see the stones thrown somewhere in here, and another sticker.
we got a lot of we got several people doing all the work for free, so we can do whatever we want to. It's more of a time thing than anything.
Yeah, I'll do the Dolly Parton bridge thing.
So you can also make, like on one of my bikes, it's an Elvis bike, and I have this, but it's shaped like the word's taking care of business.
Yeah.
We could put Red Clay Strays on there, or
RCS.
HDs, you know.
Somewhere.
Yep. I'd make all that chrome too. You can do a Dolly Parton bridge on each side.
Yeah. And then you can do something wrong here.
So, how about you come on going down there? Right. Y'all know about that.
Yeah, this
Breeze in there somewhere.
has a lot more real estate because I took the back seat off of it, so there's plenty of. Thank you. Thanks for taking time out to.
Can't wait to see it when it's all.
Yeah, the bike looks pretty awesome right now, but we aren't even halfway done with it. We're going to be doing all kinds of other cool custom stuff to it that's rock and roll and Red Clay Strays based. So stay tuned for that as we build this important project right here on the Biker Dad TV show. And you can find links if you want to buy a ticket. First of all, there's a QR code right there on the screen. You can scan it, or go to mobilebayharleydavidson.com or all of my social media. I've been posting about it for quite a while. We're going to be giving the bike away in just a few weeks, so stay tuned and see who the big winner is. And by the way, you don't have to be present to win, so it doesn't matter if you live in Seattle or Miami or here on the Gulf Coast, you can buy a ticket and win, and also help a great cause.
You may remember recently that we actually gave away one of my personal motorcycles, my beautiful 2006 Softail Heritage. Well, we did so well, raising $16,000 for court-appointed special advocates to help child abuse victims, that we said, hey, we're gonna do it again. So I tracked down another old bike, this time a 2012 custom S&S Softail with a 113 cubic inch engine. It's a beast, but we're turning it into something nice and pretty and rock and roll. And now we're teaming up with one of my favorite bands in the country and friends from here at home in Mobile, Alabama, the Red Clay Strays. And we're going to be giving this bike away for another charity. And if you're interested in winning our Red Clay Strays bike, you better get your tickets right now. We're going to be giving it away a few weeks from now at Mobile Bay Harley Davidson in Mobile, Alabama. But you don't have to live in Mobile or Alabama to win, and you don't have to be present to win either. Just scan the QR code right there on your screen or go to mobilebayharleydavidson.com.
Yo, the Red Clay Strays, and you're watching Biker Dad TV.
All right. Biker Dad is brought to you by UpstateBikerLawyer.com and Tom Schimmerling, founding member of the National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. So why is it important to you to support a cause like that?
You know, as American, you know, so deeply affected by 9/11, this is a particular event is you know, run by motorcyclists, by, you know, bikers, and I've always been very active in representing people that injured in motorcycle accidents. It's been something that means a lot to me because I had a very, very dear friend die at an early age in a motorcycle. He was only 15 years old. I was 15 years old. And, you know, ever since then, you know, I've had this affinity towards, you know, motorcyclists.
Well, thank you for doing that.
I was involved in a serious accident with a drunk driver. It was actually a wrist injury that had really came, you know, from the accident. I do promotional modeling for motorsports. I also actually race semi-professionally as well. I had 3 surgeries altogether. Because of the accident, I actually haven't raced in about 2 years. So I knew Tom Schimmerling from previously. Tom Schimmerling was easy. He did everything for me and made it, you know, very seamless. I was very satisfied with Schimmerling Injury Law and the settlement that they were able to get me.
We're the Upstate New York Help Fighters, and you're watching Biker Dad. Biker Dad.
Hi, this is Chris Betts, the Biker Dad. I've never been in a major motorcycle accident, but I know if I do, Tom Schimmerling and UpstateBikerLawyer.com have got my back. Don't have a bike, but Maddie's Motorsports here in Rochester decided to let me borrow one, and they give me a lot of bike. This is the Triumph Rocket 3R, has the largest displacement of any production motorcycle out there available right now that you can get. I'm usually used to riding the bigger, slower Harleys, so this is gonna be an adventure and a first time experience for me. And Craig here with Maddie's Motorsports showed me around the bike before I took off onto it because it's a little different than the Harleys that I rode. All right, enough talking about this thing. Let's go ride it. 6 cylinders, 2,500 cc's. I'm gonna take it easy at first just to get my bearings on this bike, and then maybe hold the throttle a little bit. Don't tell anybody. Popo, you watching? I didn't go over the speed limit ever, swear to God. This is my first stop on the ride with the Triumph, and I decided to come and check out the waterfront. 1,000 miles from home in the beaches of Alabama, but it's pretty here too. I guess it's probably not that great in January though. All right, Tiki Bar, sandy beaches. Probably not what you think of when you think of Rochester, New York, but it's right here on Lake Ontario. It's beautiful. That's Canada right over there somewhere. Anyway, just a beautiful ride.
So my name's Craig Chilelli, General Manager of Maddie's Motorsports. This is in Spencerport, New York. This is on the west side of Rochester. This is a 22 Triumph Rocket 3R. The R model has the mid controls as opposed to the GT that has the forward controls and a little bit different handlebar setup, but all these rockets are 2,500 cc, 165 horsepower, shaft-driven bike, so it's about 164 foot-pounds of torque as well. So it is an absolute beast of a machine. What's nice about this bike, and I've actually put several miles on this bike here, although it is a very high horsepower, high displacement bike, it acts really calm, and you know, when you're just bombing around town or in second or third gear. But if you grab the throttle, you'll find out where all those CCs are going. But it's comfortable to ride, handles really well, and you know, you mentioned yesterday that you haven't ridden one of these things yet, so I think you will have a blast, and I look forward to seeing your review on this machine. It is a 6-cylinder machine, and I believe it's called a cross plane, the way that the pistons are set up. So you'll feel it when you ride the bike, the pistons go sideways, the bike will shift left and right as you're on the gas. So
oh yeah, thanks for the heads up on that, because the last time I rode one like that, it was the BMW R18. I rented it, and they didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what is that?
Yeah, you'll notice it first couple times. If you lean into a corner and you whack the throttle, you'll feel it. So definitely, you know, do a couple test runs before you stuff into a corner. But yeah, big brakes, lots of stop. I do not know this as a personal fact, but I've told this bike will top out about 180.
Wow. Well,
I'd rather you not figure that out.
Yeah, I promise you I won't.
Within
yeah, 95 or 100 is usually about as far as I'm going to go, but probably won't ever get this one up that fast either.
This bike's save this fairing here, little windshield is completely stock, but that is a nice little addition. It will deflect the wind a little bit, so you can tuck behind it if you're going a little bit faster. But it's awesome. Other than that, it's stock. Not much you need to do to them.
So I had the Triumph for a couple days. I rode it up along the lake shore and checked out the amusement park in Seabreeze. Hit a little Irish pub and got to ride through the city as well before hitting the 911 ride and leading all those Harleys on this Rocket 3.
One of the interesting things is they asked me to be the honorary ride captain, and I said I'd be honored to do it as long as I don't have to find our way. Even at home, I get lost all the time. I don't want to lead 1,000 bikers down the wrong path, but I'm happy to be right up there close to the front. It's going to be an awesome time, and just check this out. Thousands of people here in upstate New York getting ready to ride, so let's roll. It was a little colder than I expected in New York. I mean, it's still summer in September in Alabama, so I had to hit Walmart and get some flannel and hoodie to be a little warm on the Rocket 3 ride. That was the first stop I really made. The only issue I have with the whole bike is that there was no way to carry all my stuff, so I also consolidated in a backpack, threw away some things that I didn't really need, so I get that on the bikes because I had to take all my gear with me to get back to the airport. But I would definitely not ruin this beautiful bike with any kind of saddlebags or luggage anyway. If I just planned a little better, I would have been okay. I'm pretty good at packing light when I need to, but the bike is just beautiful and wonderful and a joy to ride. And also probably a few speeding tickets in your future if you keep riding it. It's a blast.
We're here at the Mika Motorcycle Auction in Las Vegas with National Academy of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers and founding member Tom Schimmerling, upstatebikerlawyer.com. Tom, you were here last year, right?
No, I've been here before. It's the first time.
First time, so first impressions.
Amazing. It's like thousands of bikes, thousands of people, 1915, 1918, you know, just phenomenal, really.
Yeah, 120-year-old motorcycles and some pretty new ones too. So what's the coolest thing that you've seen?
The old ones. I like the antiques to begin with. You know, I had one that looked like it was in mint condition, but it was like another 1918, 1915 bike. It was in India, and it was just stunning. It really was.
When you come here, you walk through and see all of this
stuff, what goes through your mind? A little overwhelming, right?
Well, really, yeah. It's just hard to focus on, you know, one bike and see, like just now, another one. That's a beautiful bike right there.
Oh, yeah.
Turquoise bike.
It looks like that's a Harley Softail. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful bike. What's really cool about that one, you can't really, unless I get up there and look at it, I don't know if it's a 1958 or a 2008, because that's the classic Harley look right
Also
there.
clean and shiny, you know.
Yeah, and I walk through the dirt bike section and look at all of the dirt bikes, the ones I destroyed in the 80s that are now sitting over there for thousands of dollars.
In New York, Biker Dad is brought to you by Upstate Biker Lawyer and Tom Shimmerly. You may remember recently that we actually gave away one of my personal motorcycles, my beautiful 2006 Softail Heritage. Well, we did so well, raising $16,000 for court-appointed special advocates to help child abuse victims, that we said, hey, we're gonna do it again. So I tracked down another old bike, this time a 2012 custom S&S Softail with a 113 cubic inch engine. It's a beast, but we're turning it into something nice and pretty and rock and roll. And now we're teaming up with one of my favorite bands in the country and friends from here at home in Mobile, Alabama, the Red Clay Strays. And we're going to be giving this bike away for another charity. And if you're interested in winning our Red Clay Strays bike, you better get your tickets right now. We're going to be giving it away a few weeks from now at Mobile Bay Harley Davidson in Mobile, Alabama. But you don't have to live in Mobile or Alabama to win, and you don't have to be present to win either. Just scan the QR code right there on your screen or go to mobilebayharleydavidson.com.
Yo, the Red Clay Strays, and you're watching Biker Dad TV.
All right. All right.
Where are you guys from?
Rochester.
And so why do you come out here?
Support 9/11.
And is that your son?
Both of them.
Awesome. So you like, they both ride with you?
Absolutely.
You like riding with your dad? What's cool about it?
Riding with my dad.
That's awesome.
Where are you from?
I live in Alabama.
God bless you. Came up here just for that.
Yes.
What a blessing, man. Ride safe, man. God bless your heart, bro.
Thank you. That's it for this week's episode of the Biker Dad TV show here in Rochester, New York. I want to thank Operation Patriot Foundation for letting me lead the ride, and I got him back here safely, apparently. I want to thank UpstateBikerLawyer.com, Tom Shimmerling, for supporting us here in Rochester, New York, and all over the state of New York. Biker Dad airs on 4 different cities here in New York, thanks to Tom Shimmerling. I also want to thank all the organizers of this ride and all of the first responders out there, especially here in upstate New York. That's it for this week's episode. Until next time, please look twice for motorcycles.